see what's going on over that wall. So I'm going to have to climb these stairs. Wow. If you remember that entrance, the rear entrance to Harrah's really looked dated, drab, old, dirty, whatever you want to call it. And they had some leakage back there. I don't think this has anything to do with that. I think this is going to be a cosmetic improvement, most likely. But it looks like they've taken it down to the dirt. Yeah, they've taken it down to the dirt. So they've got an opportunity to put in some fancy paving. Maybe they're going to create.
You're responsible for this group.
Okay, people. Jeez Louise. Maybe they're going to create something that looks more like Sahara. Sorry for the sniffling. That's allergies. You'd think in Las Vegas you wouldn't have allergies, but I'm not the only one. A lot of people are complaining about it. Just strange weather in the last year. Just won't go away. Mention that sniffling so people understand I'm not doing cocaine. Never tried it. Sure sounds like I'm doing it. Could probably do these videos all night if I was. Could do 3 days in a row without sleeping. The lobby is nice. It's not, it doesn't seem all that dated. It hasn't been remodeled in many, many years, but it still seems somewhat modern. This bar certainly seems modern. I think that has been updated in the last 3 years. I think she'd get that dump truck out of the way of everybody. Some people just have no awareness. This Fulton Street food court is pretty decent. It's got Bobby Flay burger, the $12.95. which is strange because that's about $5 cheaper than a Johnny Rockets burger. Surely Bobby Flay would give you a better burger than Johnny. And this pizza is absolutely delicious. I highly recommend it. $7.99 a slice. That one. That's the one I had recently, like 3 weeks ago. $7.99 for a slice. That's real good pizza. Can make a better cookie. Basically in here you got burgers and you got the pizza. I don't know anything about this noodle or sushi place back here. I've never eaten it. Don't know anyone that has. She definitely does not fit the theme for that noodle shop. That's more of a coffee shop type lady that you'd see out in the country. That bartender, wow. I remember him from 8 years ago. Don't have anything good to say about him. This area, this slot area does so well for Harrah's. I don't know, they hit on something. It's the atmosphere of people walking close by but not, going through the slot area. Something they hit on. And the marketing people think they're probably geniuses, and I think they just did it by accident. Looks like they put in some more couches, expanded the VIP. I guess this is why there's only 2 Keno rooms on the Strip. They just don't draw a crowd. The other one's at Horseshoe. There's also no bingo on the Strip. There used to be bingo at Silver 7, so you could walk a block away, but now they made a ballroom out of that area. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Harrah's. It's a pretty good sports book. Especially if you got someone that you're with that likes to play slots, they can play right there while you go down here. This was a big improvement, putting this bar here. This used to be the high limit room, and they were using about 10% of the space for the high limit room because nobody was in there ever. They still have the high limit room right around the corner here, but it was just not necessary for it to be so big. So now they've got this whole area that's doing a lot better than the high limit room was doing. But they did take out the statues of the Mr. and Mrs. Moneybags. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. A lot of people came in here just to get their picture taken with them. $15 and $20 on the limits on the tables tonight. This is a Friday night. That's the high limit tables there. They don't need any more than that. Any more was a waste of space. Traditional craps table. No electronics. Dealers have to do everything, all the math. No matter what happens with all these new Fathom craps with lights and bells and whistles, I hope the traditional one never goes away. Even though I find myself not playing it anymore. I usually play one of these electronic ones. It's just a different game. You play the electronic, and yeah, it's craps, but it's just different.
They normally have Canadian beer now, which is really nice. What's your favorite Canadian beer? Molson? Oh, sweet. I don't know what that means.
Big winner. Actually, those were his colored chips, so those weren't 100s. They looked like 100s, but they weren't. They could have been 1s, 2s, 5s, depending on what he started with and what she colored him up as, or whatever you want to call it. This pizza looks good. $21 for a full pie. If you had 3 people, that makes a lot more sense than buying them a slice at a time. But if you're by yourself, yeah, you're not gonna make that work. Then you'd be carrying around a big pizza, thinking you're gonna eat it later. How long till they change out all these craps machines to look like the ones at MGM? They look awesome. $5 shoot to win. Only in Vegas will you see great grandma handing out escort cards. I say only in Vegas. I hope only in Vegas. All right, that's it for Harrah's.